welcome back to another Accidental video, and in today's video I'm back with another interview. I'm here with Perry Howe. Perry, how are we doing, man?
I'm alright, mate, you?
I'm doing
You
great,
alright?
man. I'm doing great. Thank you very much for coming on the channel, man.
Not a problem, pal.
Lovely stuff. So, am I right in saying you're a 33-year-old cruiserweight who's 5'3" and 1?
That's good, mate. Done your research?
I have indeed, man. And
Good
so
luck.
we'll get straight into it with a question which I always like to start off with. Why did you start boxing?
I get asked this quite a lot, obviously. I started boxing when I was 10 years old, so my neighbour, I were getting in trouble at school and that, going a bit down the wrong path, and obviously I needed something to channel my mind, and my neighbour decided to start taking me down to Brendan Ingles' gym down here in Sheffield, 10 years old on a Saturday morning. Started out there, did 3 years training down there, and then ended up boxing amateur at Parsons Cross ABC, and it's just something that's stuck with me all my life. I was never really any good at football. I used to get stuck in net, and boxing was the thing I found that obviously I enjoyed the most, and I tried a lot harder at than any other sport, really. So,
Of course. And so, do you remember what happened in your first amateur fight?
my first amateur fight, yeah, I think I was 13 years old. I was down in my local club, down in Collie Working Men's Club, Parsons Cross, Sheffield. Bob Wright at the time had told me the lad had had no fights, as they do. I found out afterwards he'd had 7 and won them all. And the kid was, I can't remember the kid's name off the top of my head. He's probably still floating about, but I know he had the name Nazim, funny enough, in his name.
Okay.
So he was going to be good, weren't he? He tied me all off for 3 rounds, and yeah, his hand went up. But ever since that moment, I was up for it, and I always wanted to box.
Of course. And so your nickname, The Promise, I don't know if that really came from a young age or where that may have come from. And so where did that nickname come from?
Well, I can tell you, I didn't turn pro till I was 29. Obviously, as a big ticket seller here in Sheffield, I needed a name. We're thinking what went and stuff, and what's not being used already, and I was trying to find something a bit original. And then I thought of The Promise, and a lot of that it rang true to me, because everything I've tried to do in my career, I've tried to do with integrity. I've been honest with my supporters, how the sport works. I've also got promises outside of the ring that I'm going to keep, which I've got a daughter out there that actually doesn't know who I am at the minute, but she will. All she's got to do is Google my name and she'll find me. So there's a lot of things going on in my life where I made a lot of promises to a lot of people, including myself, and I try and live my day remembering that. So,
No, that's brilliant, man. And I suppose just the kind of final question about the amateurs. What would you say was your highlight of the amateurs?
well, I actually did a lot of boxing in the army as well, and I had a fight with a kid who were like, I can only compare him to Lawrence Acola. He was massive.
Yep.
He was tall as. His arms were dangly. He was a monster. And no one really wanted to fight him. And I think the lads on the team with me at the time in Germany would vouch for this. He was a machine. I went in and I had 3 rounds with him. And you know what? I lost the fight by 2 points. Every other lad that faced him before and after got knocked out first round. And obviously, I was doing something right. I just didn't do enough to win the fight. But I've always took pride from the losses where I've had a good account of myself. I'd rather lose a fight with some sincerity and know I've gave it me all, than maybe win a fight that obviously I was set on to win. Do you know what I mean? So I'd rather take the challenges in life.
Of course.
So that's probably one of my proudest times, really.
Definitely. And just to touch upon that kind of army boxing kind of scene, I've heard about it a little bit. I've heard a few fighters come from that kind of background, but I don't overly know too much about it compared to how that maybe works compared to maybe the amateurs or the unlicensed scene. And do you think you can maybe enlighten me a little bit more about how that works?
Yeah, I think it's constantly changing, so I might be a bit behind it now, because I've been out of the army a few years now, but I know it carried on. I think it was still classed as amateur boxing, so it was still the same. and obviously you get matched up with lads across different regiments and stuff, and we did inter-squadron, into regiments and stuff. Like I was Royal Engineers heavyweight co-champion back in 2009, so I was 19 years old.
Okay.
And for that final, I had to fight one of my pals from training who was at another regiment. So I got into that. I got to represent myself in the Army Individuals, and came across a lad there, a 912 Lancer lad, I believe. So it's obviously rivalries within your different cap badges and stuff.
Yeah.
But obviously you're still just fighting along as well as doing your military training. So, and then obviously some lads go on to actually box full time for the army team.
Okay.
And I think one of the trainers down there at minute, Cat Stevens and stuff, I think he's a pal of mine. He's on the team at minute running that as well. So big up to all the lads who are serving, who are still out there boxing.
Yeah, definitely. No, it sounds like an interesting little world to be in. And so I suppose just for yourself, you said you turned pro a little bit later on, and so why did you end up turning professional when you did?
So basically, like I said, I boxed in the army, 19 years old, Royal Engineers heavyweight co-champion. I've always kept my hand in with the boxing, that side. I hit a point in my life when I was like 23, I'd come out of the army and I weren't boxing. So I'd get up on boxing altogether. I was driving lorries for a living. Things weren't going great in my personal life, and I got up to 19 stone. And then I come back to Sheffield because I'd been living all over the country. Come back to my home city of Sheffield. Got back in the same crowds as obviously before I left with the boxing, Parsons Cross, etc. And I got myself back to a place where I could box again. So at the time I was doing a bit of amateur and stuff, so I was coming back down the weight and I was just ticking off. I was still boxing heavy and more weight than I should have been carrying, and I was just balancing the books. And I ended up training then up at the Hood, Manatop, with Regan Denton and that. And from there on, they pushed us to turn pro, and I'm now 14 stone, and like you said, 8 fights to my name, I believe. So doing something right.
Yes, of course you are, man. And I mean, you've got these 5 victories so far, and so out of these, which one would you say you've performed your best in?
Well, yeah, again, I don't really judge myself on my wins. Obviously, I did win the 10-rounder against Eric Nazaran, every round on that. I won the WBF international title for that, which I still currently hold. So, yeah, I'm still trying to make something happen with that. And we had a big turnout for that. There were 200 of my supporters come down to witness me win that belt, and that was a proud moment. But I always like to say, never judge a man on his winners, judge him on his losses. And I like I say, I give my all. I've been in with good company, Dex Spellman, probably my toughest fight to date. The power that man had was phenomenal. I know he's recently retired now, Dex, so I wish him all the best in retirement. But that was a good learning fight for me. It's been hard. Like, I'm probably my own worst critic. I know the game with the padding of the records and stuff, and obviously I've had some journeymen turn up to fight me, and I know there's nights where they could have won, I could have won, and I'm not really bothered over the records, me. Nah, I'm more bothered over the fights. I want the good fights, and that's all I want to do for my fans. So.
Of course, that's an important thing, and I think maybe you're not seeing quite so much in the higher end of boxing at the moment, them wanting them 50-50 fights, and I like that you want them. And so I suppose you did just kind of have this 50-50 fight as of recent, and of course it didn't unfortunately go your way, but how big of an achievement was it to even fight for that Central Area title?
Well, like I say, I've just given you a bit of my background, and 26 years old when I was 19 stone, it was obviously a million miles off. So for me to even be in a Central Area title fight, like I said, I've done 2 back-to-back 10-rounders now. So there's lads that don't ever get to do a 10-rounder. I've done 2 already now. So I'm hoping to pick up from that and get some more in. But yeah, I definitely see myself as a 10-round fighter. Full respect to my opponent, Ricky. Behind the scenes, he's a good friend of mine. We've helped each other throughout his career so far. I hope he goes on to do fantastic things. and I wish him all the best. I've just obviously for now, for me, I'm concentrating on myself, and I'm in a funny stage at the minute. I've just took 18 months out of my normal life, should I say, as a lorry driver to pursue my dreams with the boxing. So I've won the WBF title. I've entertained the Central Area title, and obviously didn't go my way. I'm currently Wednesday. I'm going back to full-time driving on the lorries, but I am not boxing. So I'm calling all promoters to get in touch with Robert Riley, because we're taking them away fights, and we want, if you've got any upcoming prospects who want testing, I'm your man for it, because I'll not give them an easy night's work.
Yeah, of course. That's what it kind of seems like from you. You seem like you aren't just like your journeyman that's just going to cover up and try and get a payday. You seem like you are the type of fighter that is going to come in and really want to test these fighters. Yeah,
well, this is the thing. I know my limitations. Like I say, I'm 33 years old. I never said I was going to be a world champion. I love the sport. I do think the sport's getting very clouded at the minute with this YouTube boxing. The glamorization of how many followers you've got on Instagram reflects what kind of sportsman you are. And to be fair, the business side of it, it's awful. Something needs to change, because if not, we are going to go down a path where the sport isn't going to recover. And I'm still an optimism on the. I know there's plenty of lads like me out there that want 50-50 fights. We want the credibility for the supporters. My supporters don't care win, lose or draw. They come, they have a good night, they want to see me do well, and I'm doing well just by being in that ring and putting on a good show for my fans. So I think a lot of other fighters, they need to stop thinking about this zero that they're protecting, take the jump a bit earlier, and just get him when the fights come. Take them. You only live once, don't you? You know. Money talks, I get that. Some of these high-end fighters, it's not in the best interest financially. So there's a lot of that. But like you said, that's the side of the sport I'm trying to steer in a better direction. I want to show that I'm quite lucky. I can take 10 away fights. If I take 10 credible away fights, I know I'll put an home show in Sheffield. I'll still do 200 supporters coming to small home shows. So you've got lads that can do it. You've just got to do it the right way. And between the fans have got to stop being so fickle, as in they'll look down a record and they'll see someone's 10-0. If that lad's fought 10 journeymen and they've got 80 odd losses apiece on the, you've basically been paid to turn up, haven't they? So let's cut all that out. Let's get the lads in and let's get fighting. That's what I see it. But we can see if I can change the world there.
Never know, man. No, I like that mindset. And to be fair, I mean, I speak to a lot of boxers on this channel, and they all seemingly they're all kind of upcoming, a lot of them, and a lot of them do seem like they are wanting them 50-50 fights. And so hopefully in the future, things maybe be getting back to that point of where it once was, where there was constant 50-50 matchups.
I can be completely honest now. My fans are so loyal, and I'm so honest to them. And the thing is, with that comes some responsibility. And I can't make 200 of my supporters come to watch me beat somebody who they know is getting paid for me to turn up and take an easy win. I'd rather take their money knowing I'm winning for the fight of my life. And if I don't win, at least they know I've given it my best, you know.
Yeah, of course, that's the most important thing. And so I suppose for yourself at the moment, where you are in your career, what would you say is your main motivation?
My main motivation at the minute now is my family. I'll be honest with you, I've got a hell of a lot going on now. So just before that Central Area title fight, I'll just let you know, this is not excuses. Fair play to Ricky, not making no excuses. We all have a lot going on. We currently moved house, me and my family, and we've had a lot on. We're getting married this year, which I can't wait for. I'm actually going on my stag do, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm off to the airport. So I'm looking forward to that. And obviously, I enjoy the sport, but I'm at an age where bills need paying, got mouths to feed, and the money's got to talk. So trying to find the balance now between pursuing my own dreams in the sport and obviously putting actual solid food on the table. So I'm finding the happy medium now, going back driving my lorries, and I'm still going to be training at Riley's Boxing and Fitness Centre. That's after me and my trainer get back and my manager get back off my stag do. So they've got some work to do with me next couple of weeks when I get back. But I'm sure they're going to let me hair down next few days. So yeah, like I say, family's my biggest motivation, and obviously I just want to do everybody proud. Everybody who supported me, all my sponsors, my team. I owe this position I'm in to a lot of people, and I just want to make the most of it for everyone who's enabled it to happen for me.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, congratulations on the marriage, man, and I hope your stag do all goes well and all the wedding and everything. And
that's it, pal. Yeah, you can come to Benidorm if you want. Last minute flight, get booked on. I'll see you tomorrow.
Get it sorted, man. Yeah, man. Last minute flight.
You can follow me around with camera in Benidorm behind the scenes. I don't think much of it there to get aired though.
Yeah, some different kind of footage. Maybe not for YouTube type of footage.
Yeah, that's it.
Lovely stuff, man. Well, yeah, just a couple more questions I got for you, mate. So, just now you are at the point of where you are, and maybe you're realising a little bit few more things with your career. And so, how where would you like to see yourself in a year's time, boxing wise?
In a year's time, boxing wise, I still want to be boxing. Like I say, any opportunities come, we're taking them. I would like to have the opportunity to defend this WBF title I've got. Behind the scenes, there has been times to try and make that happen, and it's a nightmare. The politics involved is unreal. Howard Goldberg, the president of the WBF, I'd just like to thank him, obviously, and Dennis Hobson, who put the show on for me to get the belt. But the politics side of it is, we tried to make a defence of the title in November.
Okay.
Foreign opponents are wanting me to pay them to come over to fight me for it.
Right.
Now, I don't know why I should be paying them to come to take my title. So this is another opportunity for anyone out there. Anyone who wants this Cruiserweight international title, get your offers into Howard Goldberg, Dennis Hobson, start talking behind the scenes. Let's see what we can do, because I'll fight anyone, anywhere, if it's convenient for me. But the money has got to add up. I'm not paying for the privilege. It makes no sense at all.
Yeah.
So let's make it happen.
Yeah, of course. It's good to see that you kind of know your own personal worth and you're not going to kind of go down for anybody else.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's more my fans' integrity as well. Like I say, it's my fans are quite loyal. So the tickets put bums on seats. That's how these events happen. And I do have a hell of a lot of people, and these people aren't just casual fans. These are friends, these are family, these are people that are trying to help me succeed, and I owe it to them to be as sincere as I can. And it doesn't sit well with them that their hard-earned ticket money is paying somebody else's wages to come try to take my title. It makes no sense. So someone put the money where their mouth is. You bring a following or something and get some money put down, and let's do business.
Of course, man. And so, just, I suppose, you have spoken a little bit about your age and how maybe it isn't overly too much on your side, but I'm sure you've got still a good few years ahead of you, man. And so, when you eventually do kind of end up retiring and everything, how would you like to be remembered in boxing?
Just for who I am, really. Like I say, I want to get out with all my faculties intact. Obviously, with my head on, I want to go off and be able to turn around and say to everyone, yeah, I gave it my best. I've had a good go at it. Like I say, it's a tough sport. It's a really tough sport to get to the top. Obviously, I'm the underdog all the time. I'd love a lucky break with one of them top 10 and go in, punch this chance. Do you know what I mean? So, never say never. But I'm at a point now where I know I'm a worthy test for any upcoming prospects coming through. A lot of people, they probably watch my style boxing sometimes. Oh, he's messy, he's this, he's that. But I've got hundreds of sparring partners that have vouched for me. Once they get in there, they know it's tough. I don't give anybody a easy time of it. So, like I say, I know my worth, but I know my capabilities as well. So I just want to utilise it and do what I can out of this sport for me and my family.
Brilliant, mate. Well, I'll leave with this final question, which I always like to ask. You've got a little bit of a platform here. Would you like to shout anything out?
Yeah, just thank everybody, obviously, who's helped me get to this point. Very blessed to be doing what I'm doing. Massive thank you to all my sponsors. Massive thank you to my team down at Riley's Boxing and Fitness Centre. We've currently just moved gyms here in Sheffield. We're up at Asda, behind the Asda at Answorth.
Okay.
Nah, so anybody wants to come down and show the face, you're more than welcome to. Everybody behind the scenes who's obviously enabled opportunities for me. Dennis Hobson down at Fight Academy on the Fight Zone platform. Obviously, Ryan Rhodes and that put the central area on for Ricky, their fighter. There's a lot of work goes in behind the scenes from all involved. And obviously, people I'd like to thank most are my family, because like people probably don't see this side, but there's a lot of sacrifices my family make for me to be able to do what I do. There's a lot of missed times together, and obviously the dedication in the gym, and obviously now I'm going back to work. It's going to be long hours at work, long hours in gym, long hours at weekends fighting, and my family do get put on back burner, but they also know I do it because I want the best for us, and this is what's the best for me because it's what I want to do. So that's it. Yeah, so just thank you to everybody basically.
Of course, man. Lovely stuff. Well, thank you very much, mate. And I mean, I don't live too far away from Sheffield, and so maybe one day I'll be able to come down to the gym and maybe catch up with a couple of you lads.
Where's base for you, pal? Where do you live?
Nottingham way.
Oh, you're not far at all. You're only half an hour down the road, aren't you, pal?
Pretty much, mate.
You're close enough to jump to Manchester Airport in the morning and get on plane. Go on, get a last minute flight. More than welcome.
You're tempting me, man, to be fair.
You'd love it, wouldn't you?
Honestly.
That's it.
All right,
yeah,
man.
You're more than welcome up at gym anytime, mate. Kettle's always on. Get some rounds in if you want.
Yeah. Oh, with you, yeah.
Yeah, you're more than welcome too.
I'll get battered, to be honest, mate.
Yeah, you won't, mate. It's learning in our gym. There's no egos. I'll come and have a move around with you. You're more than welcome anytime, mate.
All right, lovely stuff, man. Well, thank you very much, and like video if you do need like this, subscribe if you're new, and thanks for watching.